Because one thing about me I've learned is I don't bond with you based on my history. I bond with you based on my destiny. And you might have been great in my history, but if you're not in my destiny, 5 things I cut out of my life in 2023 to level up. Let's get into it. First things first. One thing that I cut out of my life in 2023 was dressing up for a special occasion or something like that. No, I no longer waited until something special to get dressed up. Why? Because I deserve it. I deserve to get up every day, look my best, feel my best. And I don't know about you, but there's something about when I wake up and I put a little extra oomph into my appearance.
Going with the wind, fabulous. Okay.
I don't know, my day feels just, good. And I started thinking about that. It's not that I went around my day, shabby. I always got dressed, but I've been putting a little bit extra oomph into what I'm doing. Like recently I went and got my eyebrows done. I'll do another video on that. But I've just been taking extra care of leveling up in my look. And for a long, long time, I've talked about this before, but I gained so much weight after I had my son that I didn't feel comfortable in my clothes. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. I really just didn't feel comfortable. Now, I didn't say I didn't love myself. Some people would say, "What? You're beautiful." Of course, I've always felt beautiful. But I just didn't feel comfortable in my skin. So I didn't always want to dress up because I was size 2'4" for so long that when I started getting into an 8 and then the 8 started schools at me, I was kind of like, I don't know what to wear. But I stopped waiting to be a certain size to look my best. Some of you have been waiting. You bought a special dress and you're like, girl, when I lose my next 15 pounds, I'm gonna put this dress on. Let me tell you what to do to that dress. Keep it in the closet and go buy you a bigger dress. Okay?
Get into it.
Go buy you a bigger dress, because what we're not about to do is we're not about to wait until months from now to get up and look our best and feel our best. I want you to realize that you deserve that. And there's something that happens. Dress how you want to feel. There's something about getting up and experimenting with makeup or getting your eyebrows done or going to get waxed or whatever it is that makes you feel more like a woman. Goodness, I have started to slow down and enjoy my nice hot baths. Just slow down, take it easy. I feel like it's so easy then it's rush. And you may be a busy person. You're like, man, I'm so tired at the end of the day. All I want to do is go get in the shower. I get it. But there's something different about getting those bubbles in that bath and laying back. Or if you're like me, sometimes I get the water a little too hot. And, I have to ease in there. Dip your toes in there. But I want you to get used to slowing down, not being in the rush, go. Because if you're always in a rush, go, I can promise you, hear me when I tell you this. I'm getting closer. I can promise you, if you're always in the rush, go, you will not look the best that you can possibly look. And I'm so serious about that. I give myself a full hour from the time I need to get out of the door to get dressed. Because I don't want to rush and take a shower. I don't want to rush and wash my face. I don't want to rush and do my hair. I don't want to rush. Because if I rush, I will look like a rush. I don't want to do that. So that's one thing that I did in 2023 is I stopped waiting on the side. I said, let me go get the outfit now. Because I used to have this thing, let me know if this is you, in the comments where I feel like, well, I don't want to invest in a whole bunch of clothes. And then when I lose weight, I can't wear it. But most people lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, right? So at least you can wear it for a good couple months. So stop waiting on a certain time to look your best, okay? And I also have a resource for you. I will link it in the link that talks about how to be polished and elegant every single day without spending any money. That's for you. So if you don't have that resource, go right now to my YouTube links. I'll link it for you. Number 2, this is a big one for me. When I tell you this was the year of breakthrough in this area, I'm telling you. The second thing I cut out of my life to level up this year were questionable relationships. You know what I mean? My philosophy this year has been, if I have to question your loyalty, I won't. I'm gone. And I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about if you have trust issues and you're side eyeing everybody. You're side eyeing everybody you see, even the dog, the cat. You're like, why is the dog looking at me like that? Will he betray me? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what someone has proven to you. They say when people show you who they are, believe them. I'm saying when someone has proven to you they're not trustworthy. Hear me when I say this. There is a difference between love and relationship. Because God has commanded us to love freely. That's His love. We should love everyone. Don't get in trouble with God. Don't get in trouble with God saying, I'm cutting this person out of my life. I hate this person. No, don't get in trouble with God. My biggest thing this year has been my boundaries are strong, but my heart is soft. Let me repeat that. Strong boundaries, soft heart. But I'm talking about relationships where you always have this feeling like, you weren't just joking when you said that. Or when they make a sarcastic mark and you're like, no, that actually hurt my feelings. And you let them know that they're not adjusting. Or, why were they comfortable going to you talking about me?
What? Hold up. Wait a minute. Wow. Ooh.
You know what I mean? When people have these red flags and you dismiss it because you're like, let me just love everybody. No, love has no conditions or expectations. For a relationship, you better have some requirements. I have been so firm about my requirements this year. And not just me, but I state my requirements. When people come into my life, I'm quick to tell them, hey, I will love you, but I'm not required to have a relationship with you. If you show me that you're not trustworthy and you breach my trust, you'll have to earn that back if I allow you to earn it back. Again, I will always love you. That doesn't mean I will always trust you. So for a long time, I wasn't comfortable having that line because it was this almost thing of, well, I've forgiven that person. No, just because you've forgiven someone doesn't mean that they have the capacity to be trustworthy. That's why you keep getting hurt. You keep getting hurt because you desire a certain relationship from people who have shown you they're not safe people. They're not trustworthy people. But you're like, oh, well, my heart is so pure, my heart is so soft, and I just want to have this relationship with this person. How about you love yourself so much first? Let me tell you something. I love myself so much now that I demand from myself to give myself the best. That means if I see a relationship that's not healthy, is toxic, is not safe, that's not for me, and I do not feel guilty about it. I don't care who it is. I literally don't care who it is. It could have been my best friend from 15 years ago. If the relationship is not healthy, it's got to get cut out of my life. So I want you to ask Holy Spirit to show you, to give you the heart and the ability to discern when a relationship is not supposed to be in your future. Because one thing about me I've learned is I don't bond with you based on my history. I bond with you based on my destiny. You might have been great in my history, but if you're not in my destiny, you're just not for me. I know everybody's not at that point, but I can promise you I have leveled up so much in 2023 for the simple fact I'm so destiny driven that I have no guilt and no attachment to people from my past. I don't let people guilt trip me. Oh, who do you think you are? You're such and such from, back in the day. You changed so much. Thank you.
One kiss is all it takes.
Because I'm supposed to. You mean to tell me that it's been 20 years and you're still the same? It's been 12 months and you're still the same? That nothing in your mentality has changed in a year? Nothing in your life has changed in a year? That means something in you is stuck, and that's not for me. So I have given myself to the freedom to cut ties with anyone who isn't going into their destiny. Let's get into it. Number 3, let's talk about this. Another thing that I cut out of my life was eating whatever I want. Because I was the one that was always little, and I get my bag of Crystal burgers. Some of you know about Crystals. Some of you know about White Castle. I would just eat. This was back in the day when I was in my early 20s. I'm almost 40 now. I definitely can't eat that way. But 2022, There were times that I would start off well and then I would eat a little sugar here and then never seem to get back on track. Or I would try some diet. I've tried cabbage soup diet until I realized my stomach hates cabbage. I've tried tomato soup diet until I realized tomatoes for me is absolutely terrible. I've tried green smoothies diets only and wonder why I'm fidgety and I have no energy. I've tried it all in the name of let me drop something fast so that I can go and eat whatever I want. No, I live a life of sustainability. When I go on vacations, it's not to say, well, let me get cut really quick so I can go on vacation and eat whatever I want. No, can I tell you something? I eat a fruit bowl every day for breakfast or usually something with some oats or something like that. But even when I go out of town, we do a Target order. I'm still eating the same thing because I realize you have to commit. Successful people do daily what unsuccessful people do occasionally. How can you say you want these body goals, but then you can't stay committed to it? And you have to stop judging what somebody else can do versus what you can do. Because I know dairy doesn't agree with me. And I tried to recently go eat a big old ice cream with my husband. He can eat dairy all day. Let me tell you all something. I was so sick on vacation in the hotel room, rocking, holding my stomach because I know dairy tears my stomach up and I know it. But his ice cream looks so just, and I just wanted it. And before I knew it, instead of getting a taste, I just ate the whole cup. And then my vacation was ruined because I had stomach cramp. No, I cut that out. I know that I can only have just a little bit of dairy. And now I know what dairy hurts my tummy. So cheese doesn't really bother me. Mac and cheese. I honestly can tell you all, I haven't had mac and cheese in over a year. I made a whole pan for Thanksgiving, didn't touch it. I don't eat that way anymore because that doesn't serve the future me. I know what I want to look like. I want to be my own body goals. You know what I mean? I want to have a flat tummy. I want to have all the curves. I have a certain goal that I want to get to. I can't get that way eating a big old bowl of ice cream. Maybe you can, but I cannot. So that's one thing that I cut out was eating whatever I wanted. And I will have to do another YouTube video about this of how I changed my eating and started losing weight. But that will be too much to cover in this one. So let's get into number 4. Number 4, realizing that I am not a trash can. Let me repeat, I am not a trash can and I am not a dumpster for negativity. Because there's something about the nurturing nature of a woman that we want to nurture anything. We see a baby crying, we're like, oh. We see a friend in distress, we're like, oh. We see a family member in distress, we're like, oh. Until we realize we have nothing left. I am not a trash can. I am not a licensed therapist. Some of you carry so many burdens because you allow people to dump and dump and dump. And I saw this firsthand from my mom before she died. People will call her all times of the night dump their problems on her. She's dead now. And guess what happens? They have somebody else to dump it on. Because something has convinced you that if you're not there for that person, they won't have anybody else. And that's a lie from the pit of hell. We serve an omnipresent God. We serve an omniscient God. We serve a God who doesn't have to sleep and slumber, but you do. And you don't know how that's affecting your rest. And you don't know how that's affecting your mental health because your heart was not meant to house pain. Your heart was meant to house God's presence. And so you feel like you're just being there for somebody or you're just helping them. No, you will know when you're depleted. And I'm not saying not being able to comfort a friend who's going through. I'm saying you will know when that person calls and you're like, or when this person texts you and you're like, your whole day's thrown off. That's when you know that it's gotten to a point where for them, for you, from them, you become a trash can. You become an emotional dumpster. And they will text you, they will call you for you to be that person to fix them. This year, let me tell you something. I've been the first, number one, I'm not in a hurry to respond to you. You may be in an emergency, but that doesn't mean I'm your savior. I had to separate my nurturing nature from me trying to rescue people because it was affecting my own mental health. It was affecting my own emotional health. Here I am trying to be in a place where I'm full of joy, but yet you can't get out of a rut. And I used to be the type who, if my friends were in a rut, it doesn't matter how many years, I would constantly encourage them, pull them out all the time until I realized, why am I doing that for a person who wants to stay in the cycle? Because here's the thing, when people are calling you with all that negativity, they know how to get out. That's not what they want. They want your comfort. They want your response. We keep feeding it until we have nothing left. So what I do is when people text me, I'm very vocal about what I feel. That's cost relationships. I'm very vocal about you may need to see someone else who can provide help for you. There was someone that I was super close to, and I told her this, and I promise you it destroyed our relationship because she didn't want therapy. She wanted to call me all times a day, all times a night, even when I was married, for me to comfort her and encourage her. At some point, you have to encourage your own self in the Lord. Some of you are too busy trying to play God in a sense and try to rescue that person, not realizing that you need to let it go. Oh, 2023, I've gotten real good at it. So remember that you're not a trash can. You need to be replenished yourself. You need to be refreshed yourself. And you can't do that always being something for someone else. And don't you dare feel guilty about that. A good book for you to read is a book called Boundaries. It helped me a lot. Number 5, this has been a huge one. As we finish, before I get into number 5, I want to tell you that this is our brand new channel. If you could please do me a favor and subscribe right now. I don't want you to miss the next episode. We have so much to tell you, so much to talk about. I'm bringing all the girl talk things that we haven't talked about in a long time. You know, all the things I talk about on Instagram, hygiene, marriage, mothering. Let's get into all of that. Because one thing that I found about being in church all of my life is that we have these taboo subjects that we don't really want to talk about openly, but why not? We're all girls, right? Let's talk about it. So don't forget to hit that little button right now and go ahead and subscribe and share this episode with someone else also. Okay, number 5, the last one. A big thing for me for this year is not just healing, but also living. Think about that. Not just healing, but also living. Have you ever seen somebody and they're like, I'm in my healing season, and everything is full of tears, and they almost feel like they have to shut down everything and just heal, deep cries and all this. But what I've found is that living is also a form of healing. So many times people shut down everything. They're like, I want to shut down the world. I want to get off social media forever. Now I'm taking social media breaks, not because I was healing. It's just because sometimes it's just so much to navigate. And every once in a while when I'm scrolling a lot, I don't know if it's gotten worse, but just the profanity and just the things that you see, sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to do any of that. And then I'm able to catch up on work. But I want you to think about that. God put you here to have an abundant life. So for example, one of the things that we recently did was we went electric bike riding in Chicago. I'll show a little clip here. It was so much fun because we were able to ride through the streets of Chicago, and it was just so amazing. Another thing that we've done recently is New York is my favorite city in America. And so we go there a lot. We've been seeing Lion King on Broadway, taking pictures, sashaying. Here you'll be able to see also just us living it up in New York. We've had some just dates where me and my husband have really been pouring into each other, and also times that I've set aside for my friends. So I think we're all on a healing journey, and some people say, well, when do you stop healing? I believe we stop healing once we see Jesus. And I'm not talking about healing from something that happened when you were 5. I'm saying there can be something that happens to you this year or this month. And it doesn't have to be someone died. It can be healing from anything. It can be, walking with somebody else through a pain. It can be so many different things. So I want you to get used to, and you hear my children, okay, I have bunch of children, a lot. While you're on your healing journey, don't forget to live. Don't forget to try new experiences. Don't forget to call up your friends and plan a date. Maybe you don't feel like getting dressed up. Maybe you don't feel like going out for sushi. Maybe you don't feel like that. But do something. Someone on my team, I told her to go do something the other day, and she went and did some type of bike class. I was like, that's not kind of my, thoughts of what you plan to do. Fun, but she was great. It invigorated her. And in a bike cycling class was, she's an athlete and she used to do all of those athletic things. That was amazing to her. For me, that would feel like work. But I'm saying, you know what energizes you. This is the year. This is the season. This is the week. This is the month. For you to do more of what energizes you and less of what exhausts you. I love you. Until next time. See you soon.